is the Upside Down Show. Yeah, we are still very excited because we are still celebrating. It's been 6 years of growth, 6 years of an inspirational, amazing journey. And we are here to be, celebrating some of our personalities, the men and women, in some other world. We are going to say that, yeah, we have the men, but the gentlemen and the ladies who have made sure that this journey really has been worth your while. We are still presenting to you the faces that you see on Channel 1 TV. Ladies and gentlemen, you've met quite a number of them already, and you will also be still meeting some more. This young man that we'll be talking to on this episode has quite an inspirational message from where he's coming from, or where he has come from, where he's heading. We are going to really delve deeper. Did he even know he was going to be here doing all the interesting stuff that he is doing? I'm Frema Edunyame. This is the Upside Down Show on Channel 1 TV. When we come from this break, I'll be introducing our guest for the day. And trust me, we've got a show coming. Don't go nowhere. This show is proudly brought to you by Sky Mineral Water. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show on Channel 1 TV. Now, this young man that we are talking to today, is quite an interesting character. Wherever you find him, you know that this is, he could spell trouble, a positive one, because he tries to find answers. He tries, whatever you say, he has a way of making you think twice about, did I have to say that? Did I say it well? Yeah, but that's how it's supposed to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, on Monday to Fridays, at exactly, okay, so hold on. When you hear Monday to Friday on City 97.3, it is 17:30 GMT. This is the Eyewitness News. Then you know who we are talking about.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you tune into Channel 1 TV and you hear, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday evening and this is Face to Face. Yes, we get to also face him now. It's going to be a face to face. It is going to be his own side, or he being an eyewitness to everything that he has experienced. And so be the host of the Eyewitness News on City 97.3 and also Face to Face on Channel 1 TV. Ladies and gentlemen, help us welcome our guest for the day, the Umaru Sanda Amadu. Yeah. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Hi. What does that mean?
It means good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
No, it's good evening now.
It's good evening. Okay, good evening. It's been a long day.
Yes.
Taking care of the cattle in the bush,
Yes,
running
yes.
after rabbits and all of that. Can't see my stick is almost broken.
Wow.
It's been a long day.
He's also a heads boy, or now a headsman. He's grown from a boy to a man. And we are proud of
Cowman.
our achievements. Yes, he's a cowman. Sanda, you are welcome.
Thank you. Can I put my accoutrements down and sit?
These are dangerous weapons.
Oh, yeah, they're very helpful. As a headsman, when you're working in the bush, you clear the path when need be.
Where's your water bottle?
Oh, it's here.
Oh, you have a water bottle.
Oh, it's here. Because, you see, you have spending the whole day in the bush. So it's necessary that, can I put it just by here?
Well, I'm very glad to see you not in a suit, because on a normal day, Monday to Friday, you probably be in your suit. And you really look good in suits, that.
I hate suits, Frema.
Why?
Suits makes you cocotti.
But sometimes you need it.
I know, they say it's fine, but...
Talking about suits and cocotti, let me say congratulations to you on your LLB.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
How do you feel about that?
Cowboy lawyer.
Charlie!
But we don't reach there. I've not entered more clients. I don't
No,
know.
but what you've done,
Frema, it's not been easy.
To even get in.
2021, I was there and I said, no, I think this is the time to start a law school. So I enrolled and spent the last 3 years, Fridays and Saturdays. My weekends for the past 3 years have been busy in the law faculty.
So where did you do this?
So I went to Central University because they offered the weekend. And so I do eyewitness from Monday to Thursday, then Friday Salom comes to take over, and then I do weekend.
I know that, law, I mean, I've not studied law, but the little I did when I was at LESIAD, I studied a bit of international law. I know it's very demanding. Now, what you do on radio is another demanding task, because for you to, and the difficulty of what you do is, I mean, it's as current as you can think of. What something happens this morning, by 5:30, we need to be interrogating the issues on Eyewitness News. And this is a daily affair, and you need to daily also study for your law course. How have you been able to do this?
I don't want to say I'm too no, but I'm a shark. So
right.
I think God gifted me some sharpness. So from my basic school level, from primary through GSS, secondary school, I wasn't a guy that you would see seriously studying. Exams, no. I usually would wait maybe a week before I start, brushing through.
Wow.
And when I read, it sticks in there. So it's helpful, because even Eyewitness, every day you have a show.
Exactly.
So you just need to brush through and then have a grasp of the issues. Now, the thing with what I found in the law school is that the media practice, we have been engaging lawyers and the law for all these years.
It to some extent.
Yeah, so some of the things would come in handy. It's very easy. But of course, there are textbook issues that you have to only study them in the book. There are cases that you have to brief. And they give you a case. It could be maybe 40 pages, 500 pages. And the election petition of 2012, the judgment was some 400 pages. You have to read all of that and deduce the facts, the issues there. It's been studying law has been an interesting thing. And for me, it's a good addition to my journalism, because my boss, Samuel, your boss as well, our boss, Samuel Atamensa, has taught me that in this media practice, there are 3 things you need to do before you should grasp before you can do a good job. You're either good with the economy, as in economics, or good with politics, or good with law.
Yeah.
If those 3 things, you have one of them, or at least 2, you'll be a good journalist. Wow. And so I've been doing good in the politics side of things. I'm not a business kind of journalist, an economic journalist. But now that I've added the law, and the law really is everything, because even the way we are sitting is a law. These catalysts I've put here, if it mistakenly...
Of course,
I mean, you could sue me in thoughts.
And you'd bet I will.
I know. And this water that you're going to drink, if there's something in there that affects you, can sue the company.
I'll sue the left, right, first, that guy.
So don't worry, guy. You're best suing
I can't wait, for you to finish, because I know you understand me too well.
Thank you.
You're very good.
How do you even say it?
I mean, also you're Mansuchini, so...
Oh, not that much.
I mean, yours has been put in perspective. Mine is from cultural background.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Absolutely. Now, what you and I have been on set several times. The last time Salom was here, I was telling him, how Salom looks so serious, and he can give me the script. And I'm like, yes, sir, that I gave. You and I have been on Eyewitness.
Salom was my first boss, by the way, but you let's go.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he still walk around with, he doesn't say it, but I think Salom was born a boss.
When Salom was a news editor when I came, I mean, he's left-handed. And he would sit in some corner. When he's talking, between his hand like this.
He even walks left.
He's a producer. Producer. The script ready? That kind of thing. He's a nice... Salom shaped my life in the newsroom.
Salom is too disciplined. You can't misbehave around him.
When I see him...
He won't shout. He won't do anything. But you feel embarrassed when you are misbehaving around Salom.
It's like,
when you see him, behave. That kind of
thing.
But one thing I've seen you do several times, and sometimes I ask myself, how does this guy do it? You can be talking, you can be looking at other issues, there can be an interview going on, and you are following every little thing happening in the studio. Sometimes I'm thinking, is he listening to the interview? Is he listening to the phone conversation? But the moment the person is done, you know the right question to ask. How are you able to, put all these things together?
So I think experience also helps with these things. I've learned from so many people. When I joined City, I started producing. In fact, Salon put me in charge of producing every current affairs and political show. So I was producing the breakfast show, Bernard, watching what he does. I was producing City Prime News. At the time, Patrick Ayomo, Farida Highland, those people were doing the afternoon news. And then I was producing Eyewitness News. Shamima Muslim, Richard Sky, Patrick Ayumu. I was watching what they were doing. So I sort of learned a lot on the job. So the headphone we put on our head, there are two headphones, right? I have learned that one covers your ear entirely, one does not. So the one that is not covering is listening to your producers and what you call extraneous noises. The other one is focus. So you have to split your mind into multiple. There are messages that have come on your phone. Someone has texted you saying that what the guy is saying is not true. You would have to possibly Google it. Your producers are doing their work out there, but you are Googling. And the thing is that because I was a producer before becoming a presenter, it's helpful. And that's what Salon said to me. He said, I'm going to make you a producer. You have to know what goes on air so that when you go on air, you don't struggle. And I owe so much to him. So because of that, when I'm on air, while I'm doing the interview, I'm also thinking of who else should we talk to on this? Or if the guy says something, is it true? Let me Google and check. Or someone sends a message on WhatsApp and says A, B, C, D. So it is a lot of work, but we've done it for a period, and so it seems seamless. Exactly. Yeah, it looks seamless, but I mean, it's hectic.
On the outside, you are seen as very mischievous, because there are certain people that people, even on social media, will suggest, no, Sanda should be talking to this person because they know that Sanda will bring out certain things.
I'm shy.
And no, you're not shy, and I know. Because Sanda will break out certain things. Are you mischievous when you're going on radio? So, for instance, on Monday, you had a conversation with Ernest, the MP.
Yes, the parliamentary candidate. Parliamentary candidate for Amenfi
NPP
East.
Parliamentary candidate, And I was listening to you. I was driving. In my mind, I was like, he's pushing him to the corner. He's getting there. He's getting there. He's getting there. After the guy said that, yes, I said it. It's your boy Abunibi.
Sanda, those unauthorized operatives, they come with a lot of these things.
Let's not go. Let's not go around. Just one specific. You said that if they beat them back. You said that.
Yes, I said that.
I mean, how do you prep yourself when you're going on air? Are you going in there to be mischievous? Are you going in there to bring out the issues? Are you naturally a mischievous person?
So, mischievous character was a title given to me by the late Honorable Enoch Mensa, E.T. Mensa. I was interviewing him, and in the course of the interview, he kept accusing me of being a mischievous character. I think mischief is negative.
You can add an interrogator to it.
I think mischief is negative, so I don't like to associate myself.
Yes.
However, I don't set out to be mischievous. I think the questions come out as such. I am sarcastic. That I have been told a number of times, so I believe it is true. Now, sarcasm is a tool that you can deploy to mock a person. Because I did literature, I learned a number of things in literature, in English. So I know how sarcasm can get someone. If you can ask a question in a sarcastic way, it would prick the person to answer the question in a certain way. If they are telling lies and they see that you are being sarcastic with them, they could either flip and be angry or decide that we're chiming. So let me just go ahead and say the things. So maybe the sarcasm is what people think is mischievous. But when I ask the question, there are questions that before I ask, I'm laughing in my head. I'm like, when I
could tell when you are laughing.
And there are sometimes I ask a question and I put up the mic and the person is just fumbling and I just start laughing. There are some things I say. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? Yeah. That's the expression. There was one day I was interviewing, I think it was Peter Amewu, at the time Minister for, was it Galamsey? Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. So I was interviewing him, then something around, then I used the phrase, but the way I used it, it confused him. So I said, Honorable Amewu, are you saying that every Tom, Harry, and his Dick will do this? Then he was like, Sanda, every Tom, Harry, and then he realized, no, this is a trap word. So sarcasm is nice. Yeah. Mischief, small one, you drop it inside, it helps. I mean, it helps, when there's too much stress and you drop it in there, it helps. I learned a lot from Dolores Frimpong Manso.
Okay.
Delay.
Yeah.
Delay, I don't know whether I should call her mischievous, sarcastic, or I don't know.
A cocktail of all.
I mean, I used to listen to her on Oman FM.
Yeah.
Even the jingles she plays, delay. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something she intends to say there. And there way she'll be looking at you and just ask you the question and she won't smile. But it is mischief laden.
Exactly.
I think I learned those things involuntarily because I used to follow the media a lot. I used to follow every channel from 87.5 all the way to 107.9.
Right.
Every program.
Sanda, today when we Google your name, you'll be among the top journalists that Ghana, can boast of. You have come a long way. You just finished your LLB. God willing, you finish your, is it LLL?
Makola.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah,
What freaks me about law is the title, the Esquire bit. If I ever go and do law, it's because of the word Esquire.
Frema Esquire.
It's nice,
It's cute.
If I ever do PhD, I just like doctor. Certain things.
I mean, I like barrister, though. Barrister sounds stronger. Barrister.
It's nice.
Esquire sounds well.
Esquire has the Shakespeare, has
true,
the
that's
King
true.
James, has, ancients, I like it.
Shakespearean English,
exactly.
yeah.
I like the
It's
Esquire
true.
because I also did literature. When we mention your name today, a lot of people will say, yes, this is a young man who has done so well. You've honed your craft and you are delivering. And you're still very young, and it means that you are going to achieve so much more. Coming from humble beginnings, did you ever think you will be here today?
No. Even 15 years ago, if you told me that I'll be sitting on TV like this and be interviewed, I would think that you're mad.
Why?
I mean, Frema, your dream when you were growing up as a child was possibly to be a doctor or any of those things, right?
Yeah.
My dream was to be a pilot. And the reason is that in the village, there were aeroplanes flying past.
Yeah.
And in fact, when an aeroplane comes to pass, we spend a week discussing it in the village. Did you see that aeroplane? It's nice. We
Yeah.
talk about it. Now, when a helicopter comes, that one day, they fly lower.
Yeah.
And when the person in there is white-skinned,
You can see.
we all swore that it was Jerry Rollins.
Every white guy is there.
Yeah, at the time in Charlie.
Yeah.
We were happy. And white men rarely came to our village.
Yeah.
Now, when I say village, people think I'm from village in the north somewhere. I'm just an hour from Accra, Asuchare Junction, on the way to Tema, Akosombo from
Yeah.
Tema. Now, growing up in the house I grew up in, the opportunity that I have here, I don't see it coming easily. I'm the last born of 14, right?
14.
Yes, but we are 7 who are surviving now.
Okay.
None of my big siblings have gone to school. So I have 4 sisters, 2 brothers. None has entered a classroom before.
Up until now.
Yes, up to now. And I'm their last, so you can imagine they are
Yeah.
older than me. And that's my dad. Now, my parents have not gone to school. My dad has not gone to school. My mom has not gone to school. Now, my dad was herding cattle, and he had this belief. So my dad is a Malam, and Malam means Muslim teacher or religious teacher, not a Juju man,
not
like
Juju
people
man,
think.
Yeah.
So my dad believed that his children, if they go to school, they will become Christianized. That's what he was told. He also had a cattle business he was doing, so he was pushing the children inside. So all my siblings were doing cattle business.
Yeah.
When it got to my turn, my mom said, let the last one go to school. My dad said, Dabi.
Wow.
So my mom goes to report to my grandfather, who is my mom's dad. And my mom's dad comes home and tells the old man that, Charlie, let the boy go to school. And so he agreed. So that's how I wore my salad dress one Monday morning. My mother carried me and took me to Auntie Alice in nursery school in Australia Junction DA Basic School and dumped me there. There was no role model. There was no aspiration. I didn't even know where you go to from primary school to GSS. Because we had GSS in there, so you knew that from primary you go to GSS. But I didn't know what happened after GSS.
Right.
When our teachers brought us forms to fill for secondary school, they brought us a booklet that contained all the secondary schools in Ghana. And so it's not like we knew St. Rosie's or Presec or something that we're aspiring to know. So you look through the list and you choose the school you want. So I was flipping through. Then I saw Tema Secondary School. I said, Tema sounds like a nice name.
Yeah.
So I chose Tema School.
You didn't even know Tema?
No, for the way. So I chose Tema as number 1. Then I kept flipping through. Then I saw Accra High. I'm like, Accra High.
Yeah.
So I chose Accra High, second choice. Then I saw Harvard College. I'm like, college sounds nice.
Wow, look.
So I chose Harvard College. It's a school at Kokomle
I know
private
Harvard
school. I mean, later when I saw it, I'm like, wow, wait. I mean, you know, so I did. And then when you got to choosing courses, your teachers, you would go to them, okay, so what do I do? They say, which one do you like, maths or English? If you say you like English, then they say choose general arts. If you like maths, then you choose science. Yeah. So I said I liked English because me, their maths, they were not friends.
By that time, you could speak English. I mean, because you had gone
yes,
to...
Yes, GSS2. This GSS2 where we are choosing this thing. So, but I'm saying that there's nobody in the village that...
Exactly.
I mean, the highest... My mother wanted me to be a Krachi.
Yeah,
that's the reason she sent me to school. When they asked her, why did you send this boy? Oh, Karkijo. Karkijo in Fulani is Krachi. And Krachi is clerk, which means messenger. I'll be sending letters around.
And walk around.
But in her head, that was like a height of it.
Of course.
But she also dreamed that one day I'll be driving myself. She calls private cars myself. So I don't know how she came up with that idea.
But the person is driving the thing because I'm sure she was used to
maybe someone
getting on the bus, you know.
No bus. At the time I was growing up, my parents were boarding. So there was a Datsun bus. No, it wasn't a bus. I don't know how. It's like a pickup with a back. They call it Datsun or Datsun.
I know the Mampong Benz kind of.
So
cars.
They had London Boy written on it from Osuwem to Accra. Then there was Peugeot. Or Peugeot, as you call it.
Peugeot
it used to go from
Peugeot.
Ashaiman to Kpong.
Okay.
Then there was a Chololi, as in like the bone shaker. Those were the vehicles I knew growing up. Now the bone shaker was called Chokpo.
No, so hold on. This is Accra. Greater Accra.
This is Greater Accra. It's funny.
How come you were so far away?
And we had a major road.
Yeah, so why? Were you in a village in Asuchari?
No,
Asuchari?
I was not even at Asuchari. I was at Asuchari Junction. You know,
yeah, okay.
So it was close to the road enough. But I don't know, for a reason, vehicles were not many.
So was it your family or it was just the community?
It's a community thing. Where
really?
There wasn't a lot of exposure.
Okay.
There was no television.
So
there was no electricity.
Around which year will this be?
So this is the early 90s. I mean, I was born...
But early 90s is just yesterday.
I know. But at
you
the
were
time,
born when?
87.
Oh, you too.
No, so I mean, I'm a baby, I know. But I'm talking about when I was in primary school.
Yeah.
So I would have...
That's not too long ago.
Up to the year 2000, if my parents were going to... If my dad was coming to... My mom was coming to Accra, and she used to come to Tulu to come and sell wagashi. She had to join the London Boy.
Okay.
If she missed it, she wouldn't go to market that day. I don't know why there were no cars, but that London Boy would come from Osuwem, and that we knew the time it moved. So if we hear the London, and we knew the sound of the vehicles. We had the military people also having the 64 cams, so we knew Abongo, that's one of their vehicles. Then there's Chokpo, which is like the bone shaker.
Yeah.
My dad went to market at Agomenya every Wednesday and Saturday. Those are the market days. And there's a time that the Chokpo would move.
Yeah.
He has to go and join that. And that's what all the market people join. Then they go and come.
So you grew up, you were privileged enough to start kindergarten. But you were still joining your father and your brothers?
Yeah, so in the morning,
a heads boy.
In the morning, I go to school. I close at 1 p.m. I come home. By then, my brother would have returned with the cows. So my brother would take the cows out in the morning, then return with them in the afternoon around 12, come and milk them. By 1 p.m., he would be done. Then I would get home. And then I put up my school uniform, put my school bag, change, and then take my stick, and I'm going to the bush with the
So where were you
animals.
taking them, the animals?
To the grazing field, to the bush. So you take them out.
In Esuchari?
Yeah, Esuchari Junction.
Yeah.
So you take them away close to the Shire Hills Game Reserve.
So you walk with them from...
Walking was nothing. Walking
No, hold on. Even now that we are driving, you know Esuchari Junction and you know Shire Hills area. So you are leading these... So that is you.
Yeah, that's me standing by one of the biggest bulls in the crowd at the
So
time.
you are walking with these animals from Esuchari Junction to...
So there are neighboring villages, Bangil, Yoma, Jerusalem, Congo, those places. And when it's in the dry season, we even go further.
To find water and greens.
Grass, yeah. So it was normal. Walking was normal. Because in the morning when you step out...
How old were you, Sanda?
I was a teenager. So when I come back in the afternoon, I take them out. You only bring them after 6 p.m. Then they spend the night, they also sleep.
So you walk with them for about 4 or 5 hours?
No, maybe just 30 minutes to the grazing field.
Okay, and back.
Then you sit down and relax and watch them chew the grass.
Okay.
So then you are holding your stick and controlling them. Now,
you are experts in the business.
Oh, we are a number of boys. So I bring my kraal out. Christian will bring his own. Doji will bring his own. Agbenyegan, all of these boys. So when we meet...
So how many were you?
Oh, we're plenty of boys, but from different
No, not the
homes.
boys. Your animals. Like how many animals?
Oh, you can't. We don't count. Fulani is taboo to count your cows.
Oh, how?
Oh, you don't count.
So what if you lose one?
No, we don't lose. Every cow that you see we have the whole lineage. So there's a mother cow. We know the children. We know the grandchildren.
Do they have names or
Every
something?
cow has a name. Every single cow.
Are you kidding me?
Every single cow
So,
is in the crowd.
what names would you give them?
Oh, so for instance, this one you can call him Choldi.
What does it mean?
Choldi, we take the name from either, this one you can call him Wune. We take the names of the cows from either the color, the shape of the horn, the size of the cow. This is black, so this could be called Palid.
As in Blackie?
Yeah, Blackie. But it depends. If it's a big black cow, it's Pala.
If it's grandfather Blackie?
I think like Ogboro, Obolo, Obolo.
Okay.
If it's medium, Pale. If it is a tiny, slim cow, Balil. So big, bigger, biggest. And when
So who was naming this, your father or you?
No. When the baby is born and starts growing up, we give them the name.
Okay.
And you call the name and they will respond. Each cow responded to their name. Because you see, we lead them, or we don't follow cows, or we lead cows.
Hold on, we need to pause here. Drink some water. I'll do same when we come back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, don't worry. This is the Upside Down Show, and with what I'm hearing, the cows have names and they can respond to their names. Well, Sanda is telling us so much. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is the Upside Down Show. Our guest today is a man we've come face to face with, and he's giving us an eyewitness account, of his own life growing up, Umaru Sanda Amadu. So now, before we went on break, we're talking about the fact that the cows have names, Choli and all.
Choli, you don't know. When you see the large crowd of cattle eating, you are just seeing animals, right?
Yeah.
But they are segmented. They are the front benches. They know wherever you are going, you just call them. When they follow you, the middle ones will follow, and then the laggards will take the back. It is in every cattle ranch. There's a bull, so usually you have like 90 females. Then you have one bull. His job is to service them. That's what they do. And so whenever a cow is on heat, he's the only one who can go and impregnate that cow.
I mean, that's such a privilege.
I mean, yeah. So this bull, for instance, was the only one running the show for me in my whole crowd.
Wow.
So he was Ogboro. Now, if there are younger bulls, they would also attempt. I mean, Dibi, he would say, no, don't do it.
Oh, Jesus.
And he would gorge them. So what we do is that when the younger bulls are coming up, we castrate them.
Oh.
So then they become useless in the crowd. Otherwise, they will be killed by the bigger man. However, if we identify that this young bull is looking good, we want to raise him, then we'll protect him.
Okay.
So away, whenever there's a cow that is on heat, we make sure he's not close by. Because if he tries to go, the big man will come and hurt him. Now, when you have that bull, then you have a group of cows, and then the cows. When you call them, the leaders will follow you, then the bull will usually be in the middle, and then the laggards at the back. And you go with them wherever you want to go with them. When you get home, you separate the cows from their mothers.
Okay.
The reason is that if the cows are with the mothers, they'll spend the night suckling. But you want milk. So you separate the cows, put them in a smaller ranch, and then you have the mothers in here. In the morning, the mothers will go grazing separately. The children will go separately. That's the cows. In the afternoon, they all come back. You log them separately. Then you start releasing the children one by one. So this one, for instance, you release this baby, he will go and find his mother. Then you wait with your calabash or your bowl or whatever you're using to milk. When he starts suckling, the mother will release the milk for him. Then you bow down and tie his head to the front leg like that. Now the mother thinks that, oh, my baby is still behind me suckling. Then you would squat under the mother and you would draw the milk.
So there's a whole art.
So you do this for each and every cow in the crowd. So between 12 and 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., you are busy. If your cows are many, you have to even ask. So your fingers.
So you had many cows?
Yeah. So your fingers will really hurt. I mean,
wow.
So if you cut your thumb, it was even painful. So that's what we did every day, rain or shine. That's what we do. That milk is what we sell to also make money.
Okay. So that's what we use for wagashi and stuff.
So we use that for wagashi, for burkina, for all those things. For use for oil, cooking oil, and all those things.
But you know, sometimes when you are driving, okay, for those of us who don't have any form of connection with these guys, you know, when you're driving, you see cattle approaching. Sometimes you stop. You have to call the headsman. You know, they come in and they say something to them, and they all turn. What do you tell them?
You talk to them.
What do you say?
It depends. You can say return, or you can say go forward.
Do you speak English with them?
We speak Fulani language, which is Fulfulde with them.
So how do you say it?
They respond. Oh, I mean, if they are in the middle, bite, yeah, that kind of thing. And if you say it to them, they will do so.
Really?
In fact, if they are going somewhere and you shout at the name of the one leading, and you say, hey, Chola,
what did you just say?
Chola, if you don't return, I'm going to whip you.
Really?
And Chola knows I'm holding a stick. And Chola knows I've threatened that I'll whip him. And so Chola would just have to turn. And he and his friends will all go back.
So would they respond to anyone who can speak the language, or only their master?
No, their master. And because you've trained them, we birth them all. When the cow is pregnant for 9 months, we are with you. When she is in labor, there are sometimes the cows cannot give birth. We help them deliver in the bush. The baby cow comes, so the nose comes out first, and then the mouth, and then the head. But usually the heads are big to come out. So we, the cowboys, and the front legs also come out first. So we, the cowboys, when the cow is lying down there helplessly, we have to come and hold the tiny feet and keep pulling until the head comes out. As soon as the head comes out, the rest of the body follows.
So you become like godfathers to these animals.
Now, when the calf is born, it takes some time. The feet will come with some soft thing. I don't know what it's called. So it cannot walk.
Okay.
So it needs some hours. But let's say it's in the evening. We've closed. We have to go home. Now you two are lying here. You've been born. So what do we do? The mother can walk, but the baby cannot. If it's in the morning, the baby will lie around for a while and then start be able to walk. But maybe the distance is also far. So what do you do as a headsman? You put your sticks and things aside. You carry the baby. So, 4 legs. You hold the back legs with one hand, the front legs with one hand. Put your head, so you hold him like this. Like the way the Abuachiri people hold their deer. So you carry him on your shoulders all the way home. The mother following you, knowing that that's my baby. You
know, in the Bible, when David David was a shepherd boy. When he had to go into the bush with the sheep, he was fighting tigers, he was fighting wild animals, and he was okay. He could do so with his bare hands. Do you recollect situations like that when something happened, you had to maybe fight wild animals? I don't know, people who wanted to take your... Fulani people have had issues, in our society. Have you encountered situations like these?
Okay, so because of where I grew up, we don't have the type of wild animals that other herdsmen encounter. So I haven't seen a lion, but my dad has told me he has seen a lion before, and he's told me how herdsmen would stop and fight lions, right, with just a stick. But you see, God has created the human animal to be superior to every other animal. So every animal looks at us with fear. What I have come close to is snakes and scorpions. So where I grew up, scorpions are nothing. You can wake up in the morning, you come and pick your Wellington boot. You have to shake it and pour it, and a scorpion will fall off. So you kill it, and then you wear your boot and you go. Or you come and take your working gear, like the thing I'm wearing, that's a working gear. You carry it, shake it, a scorpion will fall off. There are times we find snakes in our beds.
Your bed?
Yes. So it could be a cobra, it could be the python, it could be the green mamba, green mamba is usually common in my area. But green mambas don't bite. So we don't kill them. When we encounter green mambas, we let them run. In fact, when they see you, they won't mind you. It's a cobra that, will try and spit and then possibly. But usually the first thing the snake does when it sees you or feels a human being is to flee. They only strike when you corner them. especially when you step on the tail or you just appear on them at once, they'll bite you. So as this stick that I'm holding, the duty is not to hit the animals, it's to protect the animals.
Okay.
So snakes bite cows. So when we see them, we have to kill them. So killing snakes was like a normal thing for us. Killing scorpions was a normal thing for us. But then, aside that, we also had the opportunity of chasing game, rabbits.
Right.
So I told you that we come from different homes. Let's say in the afternoon, around 3 p.m., okay, the boys from Ola Hukope will come, Donu Kope will come, Sakpiti Kope will come, Osofo Kwiti will come. All of them will come. We all come and meet in the bush. There are a number of things we can do as cowboys. If it's the rainy season and the crops have been harvested, or crops are being harvested, we'll go and steal corn.
I mean, corn is pardonable.
We'll go and steal people's maize, people's cassava. And these are a group of boys who go and steal and come and set fire in the bush and roast and eat. There was a man who made a mistake to do poultry farm in the area. Charlie, we used to go and steal live chicken and come and cook in the bush.
So you know, with this experience, we'll come back to this, right? But you have lived the life of a cowboy, okay? A Fulani cowboy. And with all the issues that they face today, all right? You are a journalist now. How do you juxtapose the two against each other? You know what they can do, because if somebody has, I mean, they have their farm, you go in there because you feel you're hungry, you need to take cassava, cook it, the poultry farmer, you need to eat. Now, as a journalist, we go back to visit some of these issues. How do you marry the two?
Okay. So, as teenagers, we were just being teenagers, and we're just hungry boys. So we stole people's watermelon in their farm. I mean, there was someone who mistakenly gave us a coat. You know, the coat has an underlining. So you cut the lining, then you'll be walking through the watermelon farms are the most difficult farms to steal from because it's flat. The trees are not big. So the man is watching you, or he's weeding somewhere. So you walk through the farm, you squat as if a thorn has pricked you. Then you remove the watermelon and put it under your...
How can you put watermelon under your...
We can take like 5 watermelons in our jacket. Bring me a typical jacket and I'll load 5 watermelons.
Are you serious?
And I'm holding my stick and you know that I'm carrying watermelons.
Watermelon? Not mangoes, watermelon.
Yeah, with mangoes, cocoa granite,
exactly,
and boot. We put in our Wellington boot and things. So we're not up to destroy. We're just, just hungry boys, teenagers who wanted to steal, right? So we do that. They catch us sometimes and they whip us, the farmers. If they don't catch us, we run away and we're very fast. They would go home and report to our fathers and our masters. When we go home in the evening, we know, say, Charlie, today they are
You eat watermelon in the afternoon, but you pay for it in the night.
In the evening, they whip us, and my father would beat you nice. And sometimes they could carry to Mr. Ulaku's house, and that is he's like the chairman of the
community square.
Oh my God! And they would line up us and whip us well, because we're going to steal the food. Now, that is not usually the problem between herdsmen and cattle farmers. The problem is where the cattle destroys the farm. Now, animals are animals. They're looking for green to eat. They don't know the difference between pepper and cassava and grass. For them, they are looking for food. It is up to you, the cowboy, to prevent them from entering someone's crop farms. So that's why we follow them. That's why we don't leave them to go. My duty is to prevent them. I can stand by the farm and make sure they don't enter the crop farm. However, if accidentally they enter the farm and destroy, I should not attack the farm owner, because that's the source of livelihood. He should also not attack me, because we are in a rule of law. He should go to my house and sack the animals and take them to the house and tell the owner that, listen, your boys came to destroy my crop. And what my father would typically do to the person is that, oh, really, my boys are going to destroy your crop? You say, yeah, okay. Please go to your farm, cost it, and come and tell me. Then, and this happens so many times. So the man will go and cost and come back and say, we've gone to check. Sometimes they charge you per stick. The number of maize sticks that have been destroyed, they charge you. And then your parents will pay. And then you, the child, is beaten. I think that's a healthy relationship.
Absolutely. Now, all the times that you found yourself, out there leading the cattle, what was going through your mind? I mean, there's a time that you were in JHS, and for you come back home, this is something I need to do. My dad is in it. My siblings are doing it. I have to go in. In all that, what picture did you have of your future?
I didn't have any, sadly. Even after secondary school. When I'm on vacation from secondary school, people travel abroad or people go vacation. I go back to the village, and for that 1 month we are on vacation, or 2 months, I'm herding cattle. So that one day is morning, afternoon. And when it's in the dry season, we do it at night as well. So 1 a.m. you are out in the bush with animals moving. And I didn't have any dream of going anywhere beyond where I was.
So you lived in Asuchari Junction throughout?
Yes.
JHS?
Yes.
And then Tema?
Yes, Tema
Secondary school.
So whenever I vacate from Tema school, I go back straight to the village and then put my chop box and trunk down.
Did your colleagues in school know that was what you were doing?
They thought I was going to maybe, Cambodia or maybe Barbados.
They didn't know you were a head boy.
I mean, those who wanted to know would know, but people didn't find it as a big deal. People didn't even believe that I was Fulani.
Yeah.
But I remember some of the people say, how can you Fulani man? They say you're supposed to be in the bush herding cattle. They didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Even when I was in GSS, there's something that happened. 1 month to BECE,
Yeah.
my father removed me from school.
Why?
And said I should come and head cattle because the person who was taking care of the cattle was not around. So I was there heading the cattle, but I was the brightest student in the school. So my headmaster...
Which school was this?
Asuchari Junction DA Basic School.
Okay.
So Mr. Jangba, Albert Jangba, and my godfather, Mr. Theophilus Akrobotu, they came to the house and told my father, we've seen that Umaru doesn't come to school anymore. What happened? He said, yeah, I removed him. He has to take care of cattle. And they said, if you don't return him to the school, bring police to catch you. He says, and they went back. When I go home, the following morning, I prepared to take the animals to the bush. My father said, no, I'll take them. You go to school.
Wow.
Now, he did it because he was scared of the police. My teachers did it because they knew that this was their brightest student.
Yeah.
And when I went to write, so I came straight from the bush to go and write the BEC. And usually they carry us and go and camp us for 1 week to write. I came out with aggregate 12. In Accra is nothing. But in that village,
of course.
it was a big deal.
Yes.
I got district scholarship.
Wow.
So if I hadn't gotten that district scholarship, and now again Mr. Akrobot was the one who went to go and collect it from Dodo at the district capital. So because grade 12 was like one of the best in the district, Shai Osudoku district.
Yeah.
At the time it was called Dangbe West district. So that's how I got to secondary school. We were too poor to pay for secondary education for 3 years. So if it wasn't for the scholarship that I was getting, I wouldn't have finished secondary school. So vacation, I'll go to Dodo and go and collect my check. No, it was something draft, banker's draft. They give it to us and go and pay the fees. So I didn't know what I was going to be. In fact, when I finished secondary school and went back to the village, going forward was not a dream. So I spoke to my headmaster and I said, Mr. Paul Gineku, I finished secondary school. What am I going to do next? He said, well, you are from a poor home. You cannot afford university. It's expensive. Go to teacher training college. They'll be paying you allowance while you are doing it. I said, okay. So I applied for teacher training college. I went to write the entrance exams at Akachi Training College. And I failed the maths paper and passed the English paper. And I didn't get the admission. I was like, hallelujah. Because I didn't want to be a teacher. It was by force. So I came back to the village and opened a provision shop.
You?
So I was selling cigarettes, cola nuts, sugar, gari, everything. I'll come
Where did you get the money from?
No, my mother gave me capital.
Okay.
So I'll come to Ashaiman, come and buy the provisions. I'm going to stock it in my shop. And then people will come and buy. At the time, we didn't have electricity. So I managed to get a generator and a television.
Oh, you are such a great businessman.
I was running a movie center.
Wow.
So in the afternoon, I'll come and put movie. That time it was video cassette. It was disc, VCD. So I'll go and, I think it was VCD at the time before DVD.
Yeah.
So I'll go and rent the VCD at Ashaiman. There's a place where you go and rent. Then I'll come, there's a small signboard. So I'll come and put the cover of so maybe Jackie Chan, or maybe Mortal Kombat, or maybe Chewa Part 1 or Part 2. So we have to show one African film, or one local film, one foreign movie. And I charged.
So what were you doing this? What did you have?
No, so I did, so I got, kotoku, sack.
Yeah.
You strip them and then you form a fence. So there's a fence with an entrance, and then you do benches inside, wooden benches. So the whole village, that's where we spend the night watching.
Wow.
Also in the night, come and watch.
And you owned it?
Yeah, I was a business owner, man.
Wow.
I was enjoying money.
Group of companies.
And
because a supermarket and now a cinema.
Charlie,
wow.
If you see the market, the shop is on small.
No, but it's okay. I mean, it's the thought that in your mind, this was...
So in the evening, you come 7 p.m., there will be comedies first. You know comedies?
Comedies?
Comedies is like, this one, you don't pay for it. It's free watching.
Okay.
So you come and watch for like 30 minutes before we put the main movie inside. Now, that's when we say, okay, it's Faskabra. So then we collect money all around before we slot in the CD. So the first movie would be, maybe if it's a Ghana film, maybe Isakaba, or the man who turns into snake, Diabolo.
Yeah.
So if you show Diabolo, you finish, then you remove it, then you put the next one. Maybe...
Show down a little Tokyo.
Yeah, or monkey in something shadow. Snake in a monkey shadow. Yeah. Charlie, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And darkness is so pound, like dark, total dark
Yeah.
village. People moved with what torches and lanterns
Lantern.
because there was no electricity. So when you also switch off the whole system there, then the whole
Then
place
the
becomes
mood is dead.
everybody goes home. Tomorrow too, they'll come and watch. So that's what I was doing. And then that was when mobile phone had started MTN, please forgive me. They used to do some promotion, MTN. They were selling phones for, it was a Motorola C150 or something like that. They were selling for 25 cedis. It was a promotion. I saw it in the newspapers. Hallelujah. So I started going to Committee 5, Tema, MTN office. I go and buy the Motorola phones, come into the village and sell it for 50 cedis. So that was when I started introducing mobile phones to people.
Wow.
Now, when the battery is dying or dead, they bring it to me to charge for them. I'll collect 50 pesos for charging your phone. Either I use Tiger Head battery to charge it for you, or I'll use a generator to charge it for you. So I was making money.
Doing well.
I was happy.
Yes.
Then one day, my GSS, not GSS mate, but he was from Akuse, Natriko, and I was from Australia. So we met during inter-district quiz competition. I whipped him, by the way, but we became friends. Charles Akrofi, he's an immigration officer now. So Charles comes to my shop and says, Sanda, and I was listening to the radio all the time.
Okay.
He says, Sanda, do you like listening to the radio? I think you can also do good on radio. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. I said, what do you have to do? He said, there's a school in Accra called Ghana Institute of Journalism. If you go there, you become a journalist. I said, really? He said, yeah. So I took car, came to Accra. It was my first time in Accra on my own. Because previously, my mother would bring us, me and my brother, alternate. This year, if they bring you, next year they bring your brother. So
This year?
Yeah, if this year they bring me once to come and shop for me and my brother, I'll bring broom. So my brother will put his foot down. I'll use broom to measure or a rope.
Then you take it with you.
To Accra to come and buy him a shoe. Next year, it is his turn to come.
Wow.
So that's what we did every year. My brother Abu, my big brother. So we watched traffic light. We talk about it for a whole year, how the light was changing. Story building was nice. So I came to Accra on my own, got a taxi, went to GIJ, picked forms, went home, filled it. Told my parents, I've applied for university, but I know I won't get it because we've been told that it's who you know, and we knew nobody. Charlie, then later, they said we should come for... So GIJ at the time, you wrote entrance exams at WAEC Hall at 37, and then you also come for interview.
Okay.
And then the final list will be put in Daily Graphic. So Charles Akrofi calls me and says, go and buy the Daily Graphic today. They put our names in there. Look for your name. So I went and bought the graphic. I sent a boy to buy it from Afiena, and I was number 15. I couldn't believe it. I got admission to GIJ.
Wow.
So that's how I entered GIJ.
Which year was this?
2008.
Okay.
So I entered GIJ, but I was listening to radio. I used to, as a cowboy, I used to listen to Eyewitness News.
Really?
By Fred Chidi at 5:30 p.m. constantly. So at 5:30, I would detach from the other boys who are either chasing rabbits, smoking mouse or something, and I'll go and sit on a tree.
So was there a day or was there any time you felt like I can do this?
No, I didn't even think that I could even sit in the radio to even... I didn't even know that me who come from here to go there, I didn't even dream of it. I didn't, until I came to GIJ. The one we're finishing the diploma, I said, no, I want to do this thing. I want to do English station. So I checked. I said, English broadcasting stations, I settled on Joy, on City. Because I said Joy, I didn't like Joy. I didn't like Radio Gold. Those are the kind of stations I listened to. So I chose City. So I wrote one letter, brought it to the reception, dropped it. Mantibia was the receptionist at the time.
Okay.
I left my letter, I went home. And I said, no, there's no way these people will call me. Who am I? And one day we were called that we should come for an interview. Oh, that's Conscious Ayatollah, Kojo Labi. He's in charge of communication at Stanbic Bank now. He used to do a show at night called The Flip Side. As a paddle, I know that's what you want to say. See it.
No, it's okay. No, you said it for us.
Remember?
Yeah.
So one day they called us and we should come for interview. And when we came, we were like 30 people who had applied for national service. And Bernard was the chairman of the panel, Bernard Avle. Selom was on the panel, and I think Frida, she was HR manager at the time. And then they took 3 out of 30 people who came for the interview that day.
Which year was
and
that?
I was one of 2010.
Okay.
That's when I joined City for national service. So national service, Charlie.
Yeah.
And then they took us. Myself, Juanita Sala, and
Mm-hmm.
Russell. Russell was doing sports journalism. Juanita and I were in the newsroom. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094 And so that's how I stepped foot in city.
Now, how did you feel the first day? So this is the radio station that you used to listen to. You know, you had no dreams of being there one day. You were just listening. You liked it. Now, you enjoyed listening to the Eyewitness News back then. You know, when you and your friends were there, you step aside, listen to Eyewitness News. You were listening because you just wanted to know what was happening. Yeah. And then you find yourself at that radio station, and then you are put on that
program
beat, you know, Eyewitness News, go and support. Now, the day you were asked to go and host the Eyewitness News, what came to your mind from the Cowboy days to that day?
If Surreal was a human being, that would be me. Because, honestly, from where I came, I had no dream of getting here. I mean, I thought of being a pilot, which is higher, but I mean, in the air, in terms of I was going to be in the air anyway, but I didn't know I was going to be in the air in a different form.
On the ground.
So Eyewitness was not the first show I hosted. When I did the production for some time, and I was producing every show, which had current affairs and politics, prime news and all of that. Then I started the hourly bulletins. Charlie, but my reading was bad. So I remember I was expunged from the radio. Patrick Ayumu was the editor at the time. And I think the directive came that Charlie, no, I don't know. He's reading the thing like, my reading, up to today, I don't like my reading on air. When people say, I like your voice, I'm like, wow, wait. They don't know how I don't like my own voice. So I stopped reading the hourlies, and I went back to production. And funny enough, I was doing a lot more documentaries too. Sami Osei was a man in charge of documentary here in Salem. One day they said to me, this Fulani story, tell it in a radio form. Okay. So I produced my first radio documentary as a national service boy in 2010. It's called The Fulani Revealed. And that won me an award that I had to travel to Rwanda, Kigali in Rwanda. Me entering aeroplane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
How was the feeling?
Hey! Frema, that evening, when I entered that Kenya Airways flight, when the thing took off, I shed a tear.
I can imagine.
Because I couldn't believe it. And when I landed the following morning, prior to that, I had never gotten close to an airplane.
Are you emotional?
Charlie, when I first saw an aeroplane feeling Adoki, it was not that trip. There was, you remember when the plane crashed in Accra at the Airwork Stadium?
Yes.
I was going home from work, city. Then I was living in Anongwa, and I saw the thing on the floor. I just know.
Yeah.
And people were running, hey, Mr. Makoshebi. So I'm like, what is happening? And then they said, aeroplane has crashed. I said, aeroplane, yeah. I jumped off the 37 bus, ran to the Airwork place, and the thing was lying there. I took a few minutes to just admire the aeroplane first. Before I called the office and I said, there's breaking news. Please call me, let's talk. And this was 2011, 2010-ish. No, yeah, because I went to Rwanda in 2012. It was a sight to behold, seeing an aeroplane at close quarters. So let's back to city. Yeah. So I was doing production. Then the first show I did properly was The Big Issue.
Okay.
Godfred Akoto was hosting. Richard Sky was the host. And Godfred was supposed to sit for him. Then this particular morning, Sky had joined management to go for a management retreat outside Accra. Then Godfred Akoto was supposed to come and sit in for him. I don't know where he went to. Maybe he went to do Liberty Professionals. He forgot to come and do The Big Issue. I had produced the guest, produced the issue and everything. So I sat in the studio. At the time, we used to play A Plus's song as the jingle. So I put the jingle on and I was waiting because it was 9 o'clock. I kept calling Godfred, I can't get him. Call Sky. Sky said they are in Eastern Region in management. So I called, at the time, who was the editor? OJ, Richard Mensah. And I said, this is the issue. I mean, there's no host. The show is on. My guests are sitting here. What do I do? So the information was transmitted to Samens. And they were at management meeting. So Samens then calls me on the phone and says, Sanda, your host is not there. I say, yeah, sit down and do the show.
And I know that voice.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, repeat
and it is full stop.
Repeat it. Sit down and do the show.
Go do it.
And I was standing behind the presenter's chair, because I was interacting with the guests. Yeah. I had Senyo Husi in the studio that day, Sydney Casely Hayford, Franklin Kujo. So I just sat in the chair. And this is something I have watched for 5 years. So I just announced myself.
So welcome to me.
Charlie. And someone who was at management meeting said to me that as soon as I started, Samuel said, I told you he can do it. He's doing it. Let him be. Let's go back to our meeting. And I think that was the start. And so when Sky went on sick leave, they asked me to do that big issue. So I started doing the big issue for a long time. Then Sky left to UK, and then I had to take over Eyewitness in 2018. Now, when I took over from Eyewitness Sky, it was a difficult thing because Sky is this combative, hard guy. But you are not. So what do? Do you come and also pretend like you are? No. So when I came, I decided, look,
I'll be me.
There's a man who I used to listen to, James Ejinin Boateng. He was Deputy Minister for Information. He was
on Radio Gold.
Radio Gold, morning show. He was mischievous and sarcastic, and I liked him. I remember his interview with Master Kofi Jumapan. Here's something he says. He says that you don't need to shout to make sense. That's rule number 1 on radio. So I said, I'm not, that's not my nature. So I'd rather do sublime, maybe submarine way, before I realize I corner you.
There.
So that's how I started doing Eyewitness. And over the years, people say I'm doing
And the rest they say is history. But before I let you go, Sanda, tell me, I'm happy you came in with a machete, your stick, your cowboy hat, your water bottle. This is you. This is what defined your humble beginnings. Today, when you look at all these, now you are a husband, you are a father, to 2 beautiful girls, all right? And you see yourself today, the success you've chalked in terms of education and what you've done with your career. When you sit down today and cast your mind back, I mean, in your quiet moments, when your wife is not there, when your children are not there, when you are not at work and at home, and you look at Umaru Sanda Amadu, where I have come from, that boy from Esuchare Junction, and this is me, still on that track, knowing that I'm going to achieve greatness someday. How do you feel?
I ask myself, why me? And I always say that God decided to use me as an example. That's all I always say, because why me? There are so many people he could have used. I mean, we have 14 children. The fact that I'm in the last born means like I'm the last thought. In fact, my father told me recently that they had given up at a point. They were not going to give birth again. They were done, 13. But then something happened and then they had me.
So all the 14 came from your mom?
Yes, the 2 of them.
Wow.
She had twins twice.
Okay.
So I think it is God's gift. God wants to use me as an example. That's how I see it. And so I would never forget the God factor. I always appreciate it. So I always say Alhamdulillah. But I also say that the sky is below my limits. That's my motto. And I also say that determination is my driver and my brakes are faulty. So I'm doing Yankonkwa with God's support. And I hope that I'll get somewhere high up there. I don't know where. But I didn't know I was going to be here. The man brought me here. I'm sure he has other plans for me. He'll catapult me. If he wants me to end here, he will. If he wants to go for it. But I think he doesn't want to waste me now. I think he has plans to push me.
And I believe that too.
I pray so.
But we are very proud of you. And sometimes when I go on social media and see all the comments, on your post, or you've done a certain interview and people are talking about it, regardless of what I'm saying, I go like, aren't I proud of this young man? Because if you can generate conversations, national conversations, I think that you are going somewhere. Keep up the good work. We are very proud of you, and I'm privileged to have you as a colleague with all the things that you do.
Thank you, Frema. I used to watch you on TV long time ago.
Why you say long time ago? Like, I should retire by now. Thank you very much, Umaru Sanda Amadu. He has been our guest, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Upside Down Show. If you leave us, we can go on and on and on and on. Yes, carry your gadgets. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we are leaving now. Right. Thank you very much. Don't go yet. Thank you very much. Yeah, do it. Well, this has been the Upside Down Show. And I think that before we go, move out of your space, Sanda needs to let us know if he's out there with the cows, how he relates to them. My name is Frema. This has been the Upside Down Show on Channel 1 TV. 3, 2, 1, action.
Yeah.